Hey, I'm Neil Hose of Mossy Oak. A field turkey is typically just a turkey that, some turkeys might fly down and spend all day in the woods, some of them may spend all day in a field. They may fly off a roost into a field and fly back up to the roost out of the field. They may never leave it. And so typically a turkey out in a field is going to be more difficult to hunt unless you're using the decoy because they can see to where you're calling from and they don't have to go any further. They just sit there and wait on you to come to them. But they can be called in. When the foliage is on the leaves, you can definitely hunt field turkeys better. You can move around the edges of the field and use your natural cover to maneuver around the field. You can watch them. If they're going a certain way, you can try to get around and call to them from a direction they're headed towards. So there's different methods of hunting field turkeys.
So one of the terms used a lot and questions asked about is quote unquote field turkey. Well, that's a broad question too. Is it a 2-acre field? Is it a 50-acre field? So typically they are tougher. One thing I would suggest, if it's a great big field, I would be really careful about getting right up to the edge of the field and doing a bunch of calling. I've almost never seen that help or work out unless it's just a crazy turkey. If it's not quite so big a field, don't get on the edge of the field and crawl up to the edge of the field and try to call the turkey. And don't get right on the riverbank to call the turkey. Get to where, if the turkey steps in the woods or to the edge of the field, you can kill them. So maybe 30 yards or so out of the field or a little more. And, on the riverbank, something like that, maybe even a little bit more. Don't get right on the edge of the field because, again, he's looking over there. Without much calling from you, he can tell right where it's coming from. I don't see anything there. I'm not going to get any closer anyway. Going back to what I said, treat every turkey like it's the only one you got to hunt anywhere. And if he is a field turkey and he's by himself or maybe just 1 or 2 hens, not much, I would ease up there and lay up with him and keep my mouth shut for a while and just kind of see what's going on. Because if you stay with them for very long and you hadn't already played a bunch of cards and got his dander up or whatever, they'll give you a opportunity. Like he'll be strutting and gobbling, and the next thing you know, the hens have slipped away from him and he's ready and you could call him. And if you've already done a bunch of calling, it probably won't work as good. Or he may just out of the blue, he's out there, he's strutting, he's not doing a whole lot and whatever, and he just starts gobbling like crazy. He may signal that, he's looking for somebody. So I would say if you get up there to a field and you start to try to, work the turkey some, just be really careful with it. Maybe not get to the edge. And if he doesn't come running right up to you or whatever, just back down a little bit. You feel like there's an opportunity. He'll give you like a little window sometimes when they're vulnerable. So I would just say be patient more than anybody.